This week's video involves my Spark and the paint job that I got done to it back in 2017. Normally whenever I get a vehicle, I want to try to personalize it as best as I can. That's kind of my thing. When I initially bought this was a silver Chevy Spark, and thought about going to Mako, getting a paint job done, and I finally pulled the trigger about 3 months after I purchased the vehicle. And so I'm just doing a quick walk around to show everyone what the paint job looks like. This was back in 2017 and now it's 2022, so I'll talk a little bit about the paint job, the things that I've experienced and seen, but just really quickly off the bat, I just wanted to walk around and show you guys what that looks like after 4 years. So let's start off with the front. One of the things that kind of happens in the beginning is you get your car painted, looks amazing, and then you start to notice like these little imperfections, and part of it is the quality of the craftsmanship of the people taping up your car. So one thing to kind of don't be upset about but kind of expect is you'll sometimes see stuff like this where there's a little bit of overspray. Someone taped it but it's still kind of painted onto the black, this black trim. Not much you can do about it. You can just hope that they're using a quality tape and that they're being diligent about their taping. Overall, it's small details like that. I paid about $700 for the paint job, so I'm not really tripping about it. This here is one of the things that I will discuss in a little bit. So with the integrated clear coat, which is what this is, it's the paint. I think it's a single stage spray with paint and a clear coat combined. So they just do it in one pass. And so this paint job, what I've noticed, is prone to chipping. So you get a little bit of a chip there. That might be a chip, that might actually be the paint, but I can actually show you guys a little more of the chipping that occurs as time goes on. So overall, the coverage was really nice. The paint job was done wonderfully by whoever painted it. Little chip there, a little chip there. So something that this type of paint job is prone to, just pointing that out. You can also see that it's kind of shiny. So I'll get into the sun in a little bit. Let's look at the top real quick. Yeah, I mean, look at that sheen. That's just such a nice sheen, and I haven't even washed the car. So it still looks nice after 4 years. But if you look at the flakes, when I was purchasing the vehicle, when I was getting it painted, the guy asked me, hey, do you want flakes on your paint job? Because I initially just selected a flat color, so something like that. And then he was like, we can mix in some flakes and it might look good in your blue. And so I said, yeah, let's go for it. Super happy I did the flakes, a little bit of overspray there, and a little more chipping. The chipping usually happens in areas where there's a lot of movement, like these doors are opening and closing a lot, so we get some of that. Let's take a look over here. Now there's something there, and over here is probably the biggest chip that I have, because I'm in and out of this. This is the driver's side door, so that happened, so that kind of sucked, but it was what it was. And then on the roof over here, you can kind of see this started peeling away maybe 4 months ago. So just something to look out for if you're not, if you're looking into purchasing this paint job. So I actually taped this around. I taped around that. I hit this with some clear coat to try to protect it and make sure that didn't grow any larger. This here as well, a little bit more chipping, flaking, what have you. Over here, you see the flakes. Back over here, that's just the result of the taping. It's a really small detail. So let's look at the front. This is the part of the car that takes the most damage because we're going 70, 80 miles an hour sometimes on the highway. And if you're a casual driver, your car probably won't have these issues, but if you're driving long stretches on the highway, you might see a little more of that. Let's look right here. So probably the first year and a half, I noticed that down over here there was some chipping going on, probably as a result of just the commuting and the driving, but I was a little disappointed to see that was happening here. So what I did was I put some newspaper around it. I bought some blue paint and I just, you know, painted it down underneath the bow tie, and then I hit it with another clear coat on top to try to protect it and keep it from expanding. And I guess it worked because, you know, nothing else is really like chipped off. So that's what it looked like a few years back, and you know, at least there was more blue, so I would say that maybe, yeah, the blue is chipped off. Over here was probably the strangest occurrence that I had to deal with right here, which was, it was about 100 degrees in Houston. I parked my car and I left it in a parking lot, and you can kind of still see it. You know, this used to be flawless, and then I think the sun reflected off of someone's mirror or rim, and then it just started to bubble up here. And let's see how close I can get, but you can kind of see it there. This just started to bubble up, and then it turned into a bubble, and then it came off on the highway. So that was just kind of like a freak accident, but something that does happen with this type of paint job. And again, more chips over here. Oh, actually, that's not a chip. This was when someone at Walmart decided to swipe me and then leave. So, you know, screw those guys. And let's go over here. Let's keep taking a look. More flakes. And I did want to talk about this bumper. So one of the things that happened was, if you get a paint job from Mako and someone rear ends you, it's going to be difficult for someone to match this. They gave me the bumper initially with the blue that was completely off by a shade compared to the body of the blue, the body blue. So I told them, like, hey, you guys gotta fix this, and they did right by me, and they fixed it. But there is a little bit of orange peel there. But again, you know, if you want to customize your car, that's kind of what happens. You deal with a little more frustration than someone who just takes what they have. Let me open this up real quick. So this is silver because the car was initially silver. So if you want them to paint your door jambs, it's an additional like $100 or $200 per door or something. You know, that's up to you. It's up to you if you want to do that. I chose not to, so now I have this like this dual tone kind of trim. Same over here. This is silver, and you can kind of see some of the overspray. What you don't want to see a lot of is a lot of overspray on the interior door jambs, because then it just looks ugly. Luckily, these guys did a great job taping it, and you know, they taped it so it's got like a fine line of where it stops. So even though it's kind of a little bit of a jagged line, you know, it's very distinct. So they did a great job doing that. At the first Mako that I went to, we'll talk about that paint job a little later in a later episode. But you know, even here, like the plastic here is chipping. So for me, the whole situation of the chipping is not a big deal, because you know, the majority of the car, probably 97% of the car, it looks amazing, flawless. And this isn't even washed, it's just been sitting. So once I wash it, you really get a lot of sparkle out of that when the sun hits it the right way. So I'm making this video just to, you know, if you're looking to do some research on Mako paint jobs, you know, I would say it's worth it. This was $700-800 ish kind of territory. It's been a few years and I don't have the receipt, so I apologize, but I was 10 times more happier after I painted it, because you know, it's mine, it's my custom decision to paint this. And yeah, so I just wanted you guys to make an informed decision. This is, again, the integrated clear coat package, and I think it's amazing. And you know, they even told me, hey, you know, if there's a bit of a blemish somewhere, we could mix you up a little piece of the paint and give it to you in a bottle so that you can fix that if necessary. But you know, then they told me something else at a different Mako with that one, so I'll tell you guys later about that story. But yeah, if you're in the market for, you know, a new car, and you're seeing the prices right now of what vehicles cost because of inflation and because of all these issues going on with the economy, you know, consider painting your car. It's a good way of making it look nice, and if it runs great, why would you get a new one? I mean, just food for thought. You don't have to. Everyone makes their own decisions, but you know, it's nice driving around in something that's kind of shiny, pristine, and you know, it's personalized based off of what your tastes are, not what the dealerships or what other companies think that you want. You make your own decisions. So that's it for me, guys. I hope this video is helpful in some way. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot them over my way, and I'll follow up this video with another video on the tracker, which was painted with just the base package offering from Mako, and not the integrated clear coat. Doesn't have any clear coat, doesn't have anything special, and I think we just asked them to repair a dent, and that was it. So that's coming soon. Hope you guys are taking care of yourselves, and take it easy. Alrighty, peace out. Bye bye.